Hi, people. So I went to the video game store today, a local retro game store, State Line, in the Holyoke Mall in the Western Mass area. Now, someone recently had posted a video. One of the channels I'm subscribed to, they posted a video of this game for the Atari 2600. It's an Activision game called Seaquest. Now, I didn't think I had it. So, when I saw it at the store today, I wasn't sure if I had it, so I went ahead and made the purchase. But I found out I already had it. But it's okay. Sometimes these things are meant to be. Because the copy that I have has less wear here. Activision games were notorious for wear here. Most Atari games are known to get their wear, but that's no problem. I would have been okay with that. It's not torn or ripped or anything. But what intrigued me about this, even though I already have it, I found out now, it's okay. I'm still glad I made the purchase because of something unique. Something unique on the back of this. Now, I've seen before where people have done this, but it was interesting to find someone's history here. Now, ignore this. This was from the store. It just says warranty void if removed. So that was put there by the store. But what's interesting about this cartridge is there's some high scores written down here on some kind of label that was probably placed there, it looks like back in the 80s. Probably in the early 80s, these were put on. Now what I could make out here in person, which you probably can't make out on this, is this little sticker here, which seems to be part of this sticker at one time. It was probably one long label, but they tore it off here and stuck it here. This one right here, what I can make out is DAD up here, which was Dad. Dad looks like, I'm not sure what's a high score in this game. I haven't played it in a while, but I was watching someone post, I don't know if it was No Swear Game or somebody else recently posted this, and it looked, you know, it's a great game. Activision made a lot of great games. But on this sticker here, I can make out DAD for Dad. And it looks like his first score was crossed out. And I could see it under the cross out. 104,600. So Dad put up a score of 106. I mean, wait a minute. I mean, it's hard to make out. 109. I'm making out 109. Looks like to me. My eyes ain't that great, but 109,600. 109,600. Now, he later put up another score here, which stood as his high score, Dad. And that is 134. This one's a lot clearer to make out. 134,290. So Dad put up a score of 134,290. And those are the only two scores under Dad. Now up here, which you can't see, in pencil, which is faded away, I can make out Steph. Okay, I can make out Steph. So whoever Steph was, it looks like maybe there's an A after that, so it might be Stefan. Steph or Stefan. It's very hard to make it because it was in pencil, but it looks like 98,040 or 340. But more importantly, I can make out the 98. So Steph or Stefan appears to have put up 98,000 something. It might even be 98,390, it looks like. Okay, but anyway, under 100,000, so he didn't beat Dad. Either of Dad's scores. But then here in red ink, we have what appears, this is pretty clear, Jeanne, Gianna. Looks like Gianna put up 154,300. 154,300. So she beat Dad's score. Then over here, I can make out Russell. Maybe older brother Russell. And that might be younger brother Stefan. Well, Russell beat Gianna with a 159,690. 159,690. So, pretty interesting. And then Russell looks like he messed up one of the numbers where the 5 is for 159. But then he rewrote it right here in pencil. And that's faded away. But I can make out the 690 and the 9. So it looks like 159, 690 was rewritten here in pencil, which is faded away. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Any of you people, anybody leave in the comments if you've ever come across cartridges that have the high scores written on the back. I've seen this before on an Odyssey game. A friend of mine on Facebook from Europe, Germany, I believe, or France. He had an Odyssey cartridge as a child where he did something like this, where he put a label and wrote his high scores. I wish I did that. I wish I still had my games if I had done that. But I don't remember ever doing this myself. But this family here, I mean, I find it hard why they got rid of this. Maybe it was forgotten and long. They didn't realize it, but why would they have gotten rid of this if it was you know, it's kind of like a family history. Good old Dad set the mark at 134. 290. And then, like I said, little brother Stefan almost broke 100. Looks like he was at like 98,000 something. Sister wrote it in red with nice, you could tell too, because it's like better handwriting, a girl's handwriting compared to the rest of these. and she put up the 154,300. And then Russell took everybody down. Maybe older brother Russell took everybody down with a 159,690. 159,690. So now, the next time I play this game, I'll go for those scores. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm glad I picked it up, even though I already had the game. I wish it was my family and it was part of our history, but it's someone's history. And this is the stuff that I like to collect nowadays, stuff like this. It tells a story. I put it in this plastic thing, because I probably won't play this one, because I have my own copy, my original copy in my collection. So I put it in this plastic holder to preserve those labels. I thought that was very cool. I hope everyone's still around and doing good. I mean, I would give this back to the family if some, you know, if I knew who they were. Awesome. I mean, that is excellent. I know you can't make it, you can't make it out on the, but that is the stuff I like to collect these days. Years ago, I probably would avoid something like this because I wanted everything to be as perfect condition. I mean, yeah, you could peel these off and clean it up, and that's something I would have probably done back in the day. But I don't know. If, yeah, probably if it was for my personal collection and I didn't realize, you know, what I realize now, that this is history and this should be preserved on stuff. So it's kind of like the rentals, which, by the way, I have a video coming in a couple days. I'll be making a video. I have about, I don't know, 15 or so rental Nintendo games. I'm going to show those off. Some of them have some cool cases. The labels from the rental store, whether they're on the front or the back. I'll show those off. I think they're very interesting. Most of the time when I find a rental, it's either Genesis or the Nintendo NES, and then of course Super Nintendo. And that's kind of like when the rental stores were at their peak, renting out video games. I mean, yeah, they rented all the way up to the disc-based games. But I mean, when it was in its prime, it was the Nintendo NES. I don't know if some of you have any memories, but the Nintendo NES was, I think, the first one to be the first one to have games at rental stores. Before that, I don't remember Atari or anything like. Before the crash, before the video game crash, there wasn't no video rental at, you know, at movie rental places, you know, like the mom and pop places that came up later, probably in the later 80s. But I do remember the Nintendo NES was one of the, you know, pretty much the first system that rental stores started renting out. So those are the most common ones you will find. And then you will find Genesis 1, Super Nintendo, N64, all the way up to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video with the disc-based games. But the ones that I like to preserve and collect are the Nintendo NES, especially. So I have a nice collection of former rentals from all over the place. Some local, some not so local, that I grabbed off eBay. And So stay tuned for that video. It's going to be interesting. Interesting to see the addresses and the names of the video stores. Most of them are mom and pop shops. I'm not too much into the Blockbuster and Hollywood Video as much. I primarily like to collect the ones that were from mom and pop shops more. So this was interesting. Gotta like that. I mean, a family labeled this and wrote their high scores, dad, and it looks like the two brothers and a sister. While mom was in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, they were playing Seaquest and trying to break each other's high scores. And somehow this game got away from them and ended up at the video game store where I got it today. I don't know. There's a story behind that, right? Imagine the hands that touched that, you know? These people here on the back. All right, well, I thought I'd share this piece of history. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any games that have labels like this with high scores written on them, or what you think of rental games. Stay tuned for that video. Thanks. Good night.